You guys hungry?
Yeah!
How does cottage pie sound?
Good!
Alright, guys. So, as you guys know, I'm Kendall, and I'm going to be making cottage pie for my family tonight. So, to start, you have all of your ingredients. We have carrots, celery. I have this mix of Italian herbs pre-cut because I'm lazy. We have onions, rosemary, thyme, bay leaves, potatoes. The meat, I like to do lean meat, so I do 90-10. If you can get better, get better. Then, so here are the just regular seasonings. So you mix this with about a cup of water and make like a broth because you're gonna add that in later. Then you have paprika, the freeze-dried chives, rubbing sage, garlic powder, onion powder, bay leaves, turmeric, cumin, chili powder, salt and pepper. And lastly, a nice red wine, mostly dry. And so we start by prepping. So we shave carrots, we wash celery, we peel onions, and we also shave potatoes to start.
Here I am dicing my potatoes into evenly sized pieces. Once I've diced my potatoes, I'll place them into a pot to boil for the mashed potatoes later. And then, next, my carrots, followed by the celery, chopped into like-sized pieces. Now, here I am adding my ground beef to be browned. While the ground beef is cooking, I will place all of my seasonings into a container. I don't go by measurements, I measure by my heart. Once the ground beef gets a little bit of color, I'll add half of my seasonings back into it. Once the ground beef is finished browning, remove from the heat and set into a strainer and set aside. While browning, I dice up my herbs. Next, into a pan of medium heat, I add in my chopped vegetables. I stir every 5 minutes until softened. Now I'm adding my beef back in and stirring very well. Now I'm adding my beef stock and bay leaves. I also added 2 cups of water because I personally did not have beef stock on hand. Next, I'm adding my red wine. I use a half a bottle. Then I'm going to add in the other half of my seasonings and the chopped herbs and mix very well. Now I'm going to sit back and let this simmer while I work on my potatoes. They have now finished boiling and are soft and ready to be mashed. Mashed together, I'll set them aside and go back to the filling. It should be boiling at this point. I now am adding gradually a half a cup of flour in, folding as I go. For the mashed potatoes, I added a stick of butter, a half a cup of milk, as well as 1/3 of the boiled water of the potatoes. After that, salt, pepper, and as much garlic as your heart desires. Once the filling is thick, I remove from the heat and place into a baking dish. Then I'm going to add the mashed potatoes on top of the filling and evenly spread it across. I will then place them into a 400-degree oven for 30 minutes or until golden brown. And once it's complete, I'll pull it out, set it on the stove to cool for 10 minutes or until it's done. Put it on some plates. Au revoir, dinner is served. And that, my friends, is my rendition of the cottage pie. Family and friends love it.